Hello, my name is Alex Percy, and as you can see behind me, it's very obvious I am a Saints fan. I just wanted to go over the Saints versus Denver Broncos game that happened yesterday. So, the Saints, how do I put it, absolutely destroyed the Denver Broncos. Now, I have to make this clear the Denver Broncos that showed up yesterday were not the normal Denver Broncos that you will get week in and week out. The simple fact is they didn't actually have a quarterback on their roster. Drew Lock, Brett Rippon, and Blake Bortles were all put on the COVID list, which is unfortunate because, well, it was obvious they started a practice squad wide receiver at quarterback. Um, he, what's a good way to put it? He's not a quarterback. That's the best way to put it. They managed to not have any effective offense whatsoever. They had Philip Lindsay line up at quarterback more than the guy that they actually had signed as a quarterback. Um, Von Miller was out continuously, which sucks because let's be honest here, he is the best part of their defense. And as a Saints fan, it would have been nice to see what Taysom Hill could have done with having constant pressure from a perennial pass rusher. Um, Cortland Sutton was out also, which is a huge hit for the Denver Broncos offense because let's be honest, he is a massive receiver and he's a great safety blanket for any quarterback. Huge reach, the ability to catch the football, and that absolutely sucks. So let's talk about the Denver Broncos quarterback, Kendall Hinton. He was a practice squad wide receiver who got a great call on Friday that he was going to make an NFL roster, which would have been great, except for the fact that he was being assigned as a position that wasn't actually his position on the practice squad. He was playing wide receiver for the Denver Broncos practice squad, and they signed him as a quarterback. He played quarterback in college for Wake Forest, and haven't done a lot of research on him, but I'm willing to bet he was average at best. Um, he looked completely lost out there, which you can't really blame him as well as you know in offense, unless you're the one out there making the reads and making the throws to the wide receivers, you're not going to have the timing. You're not going to have the ability to succeed, which was obvious. And it was also obvious that they had no trust in him to begin with because the first play on offense, their starting quarterback was Philip Lindsay in the Wildcat. And let's be honest here, when Philip Lindsay lines up in the Wildcat, you're stacking the box. You know he's not throwing the ball, and you know he's not getting it over you, so you can bring a safety in, and you can just beat the living crap out of him, which is what the Saints defense did absolutely all day. Um, and his throws were completely inaccurate. He was constantly being pressured. He was basically forced to be on the move every single time that he touched the football to throw it, which is very hard to throw a football when your feet are moving. And every time he tried to get his feet set, the defense just came at him full force and he would have to move and was very inaccurate. I believe he ended the day 1 of 9, which isn't great for an NFL quarterback. And, I hope he gets practice. Being a quarterback in the NFL is an unbelievable thing. And, if I wasn't basically 5 foot nothing, it's a dream of mine to be a quarterback. So I hope he gets a chance. On to the Saints. This week was very different for the Saints offensively. I could talk about the obvious thing, which is Taysom Hill at quarterback, but I'll get back to that because I have a lot to say. The running game was absolutely amazing. Alvin Kamara is a great running back, and every time he touches the football, you know he's going to make a play, which is what he did. But today's real MVP of the game was Latavius Murray. The guy, every time he touched the football, would find a hole. He was phenomenal, ran through, and when he hit open space for that 36-yard touchdown, he took off. I believe he ended the day with 19 rushes for 124 yards, and he had 2 TDs, which is just amazing. Let's be honest, if he only had one touchdown, we still would have beaten the Broncos. Receiving was average at best. The guy who got targeted the most, Michael Thomas, who's, in my opinion, a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL, only had 4 catches for 50 yards. That should say all it needs to about the receiving game. Now to the big story. This is where I get heated because as a Saints fan, winning should make you happy, right? We want to win. We want to win a Super Bowl. For the love of God, can we win another Super Bowl? Taysom Hill at quarterback. He's no Drew Brees. That's the best way to put it. Like, Drew Brees is the most accurate quarterback in NFL history, absolute Hall of Famer. The guy, the offense is built, run, worked, everything around Drew Brees and his ability to throw the football. Sure, he can't throw it deep, but with Drew Brees, you don't need to. The guy's so accurate, he makes pro reads better than anyone on this planet. So every play, there's an open enough wide receiver for Drew Brees to make a move. Taysom Hill is not Drew Brees at all. It's unfortunate, but it also isn't, to be completely honest. Taysom Hill's an electrifying football player, okay? And the Saints and Sean Payton, thank you, Sean Payton, did an amazing job bringing him in and working him. He's a good quarterback. He's an average quarterback, but a football player. He's absolutely amazing. He can run, he can catch, he can work every system on the planet. The guy could probably play linebacker and safety for us, let's be honest here. But he's playing quarterback. The best way to describe it, great football player, very average quarterback. He's a better version of Tim Tebow, which I hate to say because I love Tim Tebow, but let's be honest, Tim Tebow wasn't a quarterback. Taysom Hill is. He showed his inability to read NFL defenses this week, and he showed his inconsistency in throwing the football, as well as with his footwork. Every play that he would line up and he would just drop back, he found himself moving in the pocket a lot, and he never really got his feet set. And because of that, it was very obvious in his passing. Things as small as wide receiver screens or even split screens with Alvin Kamara and Latavius Murray, he was very inaccurate. A lot of them were actually incompletions because of his inaccuracy, which really sucks because those are the plays where you want to give the ball to your difference makers and allow them to get open and make moves. Even plays down the field, he would second guess himself. And the moment he second guessed a read, it allowed the defense to hone in on it. And the second they caught the ball, it was a tackle. Or the second that the ball came close, it was an incompletion, which is super unfortunate. This offense is working, and is working well. We're putting up points. We have a very successful offense, but it's not because of Taysom Hill. It is because of Sean Payton. Sean Payton is a great offensive head coach, future Hall of Fame head coach. He's phenomenal, and Taysom Hill's doing a very good job in the system. In my opinion, I don't think he's the heir apparent to future Hall of Famer Drew Brees, whose jersey's sitting right there. I think he's a very serviceable quarterback. He doesn't have a big arm. He can't throw downfield. But does he really need to throw downfield? Let's be honest here. Drew Brees at this point in his career can't throw downfield either. I think it would be great to get Drew back because I think Taysom Hill is most effective as a football player, not as a quarterback. Now that I've seen Taysom Hill as a full-time NFL quarterback for the last 2 weeks, why can't he throw the football 10 times a game when Drew Brees is back? His ability to run and pass is phenomenal, and it'll beat the living crap out of any NFL defense in this league. I don't give a crap. But I don't think he's a full-time NFL quarterback. I don't think he has the ability to go out and throw the ball 40 times a game and in the fourth quarter, in a tight game, run down the field and win you the game with his arm. Thank God for Sean Payton, because if it wasn't for him, I don't think we'd have much of a chance at all. But Taysom Hill's working, which is great. if Sean Payton continues to work the system in a way where Taysom isn't the guy and he's just another cog in an offense, I think we're going to continue to win. I just hope, and I mean hope, that there aren't any tight games because 2 weeks in as the starting quarterback in the NFL, the guy's got, I think, 3 or 4 rushing touchdowns. Uh, yeah, 4 rushing touchdowns and 0 passing touchdowns. That literally should say all you need to hear. So, with that said, great win. Let's go Saints, and let's see what continues to happen.